Hi there, my name is Kylie and I'm an ENFP. And I shouldn't say recently, but within the last 2 years, I've had a strong interest in Myers-Briggs. Not in-depth research or anything, but a lot of people shared about their experiences being whatever their type was, so I thought that I'd share a little bit of my experience by talking about some common stereotypes that ENFPs are associated with, and I made a handy dandy list with only 5 things because we ENFPs tend to get a little bit sidetracked, and this could easily turn into an hour-long video. So the first thing I have listed is the label of a free spirit. I have been called a free spirit. Probably I've been misinterpreted as a free spirit most of my life. Despite the fact that I have this huge tapestry in the back, I just love colors. You can see that from my hair and my shirt. Anyway, sidetracked. But I think people think of me that way because I'm just so caring and loving and accepting. And I think those oftentimes get confused with carefree and not having a plan in life, which I do have a plan. I've always had a strong goal that I've been working towards. When I was 3, I wanted to be a doctor, and then I took AP biology in high school and I was like, this isn't for me. And then basically ever since then I wanted to work for Disney because I connect that with making people happy and wanting to make people happy my whole life, and I love being involved in like customer service and making people have a great day, but I've always been very goal-oriented and driven in some way, but I have let it consume me a couple unhealthy periods of my life, but I also like to laugh, and I think people interpret that as being a free spirit. Second one. Okay, I was reading my high school yearbook the other day, and it was really funny because a lot of the things I had seen in there were like, oh, you're super popular, and I just thought that was really funny because I never considered myself as a popular person. I find myself very easy to get along with, but as far as having a lot of friends, not so much. I've always kept just a couple of very close friends with me, and I read that that's kind of common for ENFPs. It's like we can't really handle maintaining a ton of relationships because I really value getting to know somebody on a deep personal level and being able to share personal experiences with them and having them be able to share their personal experiences about me and becoming an expert on a couple people rather than barely knowing a ton of people. It would be a little bit too overwhelming for me. Number 3. ENFPs have a reputation to be a bit flirty. Yeah, I've been told that by so many of my friends, a lot. And it's not intentional. I guess it's flirty to take an interest in people of the opposite sex, but I mean, I have mostly the same conversations that I have with girls the same as I do with guys, and I don't know, I guess that's not the social norm, and you're not supposed to talk to guys the same way that you talk to girls, and I don't know, I guess it's also because I'm bubbly, happy, and I guess people tend to act that way when they're flirting, but I act that way with everybody. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, when I'm interested in somebody, that person will know that I'm interested in them. And when I have a significant other or somebody that I'm interested in, especially if it's mutual, there's going to be a lot of flirting. But as far as just talking to like somebody of the opposite sex, I think a lot of times people think that I'm flirting with them. And there's definitely been some occasions where I accidentally had somebody think that I was flirting with them when I was just trying to connect with another human being and just have that great conversation. But yeah, that one's checked off. All right, number 4. I am always happy. Not true. In fact, earlier today I was having one of my I've seen a lot of people call them emo phases, and yeah, I just need to take some time with myself and just think about how much the world sucks sometimes. And I also find that when I am the most let down, I kind of get a little bit more creative. I'm not sure if other ENFPs experience the same thing, but when I'm let down, that's when my most depressing year of my life, my junior year of high school, was when I taught myself how to play the piano. And so, I don't know, I kind of, I don't want to say, I definitely no, I don't enjoy being unhappy, but when I am unhappy, it kind of evokes a different part of me that wouldn't be there if I were always happy. Which, I don't know, I mean, I love being happy. I think that's also part of being an ENFP. Like, we like being happy. We don't want those negative emotions. Who wants negative emotions? We genuinely like being happy. And I think a lot of people think that's fake, I guess. That's something else. I remember when I was in high school, I was kind of labeled as fake. And I think it's just because some people just really didn't understand that I get genuinely excited about history and science and meeting new people and learning about people's experiences. And yeah, but I'm not always happy. I just don't show when I'm unhappy. Only the very close people that I choose to invest a lot of time in and get to know when I'm unhappy. And if I know that my close friends are unhappy, I will not show that I'm unhappy because I don't want to bring them down. And lastly, I'm going to talk about one more thing, number 5, people pleaser. So this is something that I kind of worked on all throughout high school. I was a long distance runner, and I basically lost interest in running. I had a lot of lost interest in running my sophomore year, and if it had only been, me on planet Earth, I might have just stopped running then, but because I really didn't want to let down my coach and I didn't want to let down my parents and fans, I kept running all throughout high school. And when I look back on it now, I'm not going to say I regret it, because I'm one of those people who would always wonder what would happen if I had stopped, if I didn't keep going. But I also, because of that experience, I became a lot more aware about how much I put others ahead of me, and that really hurt me a lot. And so I've gotten a lot better at that. I still do struggle with that. I want to take on so much more than I can really handle. And like, I'm in a business fraternity, and a lot of the times I'll just be like, oh, I volunteer for that, I volunteer for that, I want to help out with that. And some of that may be because I have a vision in my head and I really want to execute that vision, but a lot of it is also because I really want to be liked And I feel that, and sometimes I think that taking on other people's jobs will just make them instantly like me. And that's not always how it works out. Sometimes, sometimes people don't just like you because you volunteer. So I kind of had to step back and come to the realization that, you know, the hard truth is that everybody in the world isn't going to like you. And I think as an ENFP, I really need to figure that out because it's a hard fact that we probably don't like to hear, but it is true, and I've been able to make some better decisions because of that. So that wraps up the 5 things that I was going to talk about. That took so much work, by the way, to not talk about random other stuff, and I'm pretty sure I did go on some tangents there. But I hope this was of interest to somebody. If not, it helped me out. So, alright, well thank you, and I hope to meet some more ENFPs soon. Goodbye!